Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. I certainly don't want to quell the lively dialogue and conversation, but we have an unbelievably jam-packed agenda for today. A couple things that I'd like to open with. My name is Todd Moran, if I have not had the pleasure of meeting you. If you pick up a bit of Jersey accent, that's because I'm from New Jersey. Some of those statements about Philly are pretty accurate last night, for those of you that were with us. So John Oliver was on point. But let me do this. I'd like to start with a couple things. None of this is possible without the nature of our sponsors. So I want to take a moment to recognize all of them. Go One, in our top tier, Get Abstract, Conduent, Training Orchestra, Phenom People, Rapid LD, Will, Talent Quest, Telemundo, and Strategism. Can I please get a round of applause for all these fantastic folks? The other point I'd make is that we're a social bunch. You've been gallivanting, hopefully last night, enjoyed some time across Mountain View and Sunnyvale and Palo Alto. Continue to cascade that into the digital world. After all, we are part of this emerging learning experience and taking things into the future. So please feel free to use the hashtags that you see there. Follow us on the Twitter account. The second point I'd like to make is this. When I talk about the nature of our sponsors, incredibly important, as our host, Stanford School of Medicine. This place, I hope you all find, is a rather unique location. I can't think of a better place when we talk about the mecca of learning, as Anisha Suri, our global president out of India, shared with me, and Asia Pac. This is the place. This is the place that brings inspiration about trying to change the nature of how folks learn and educate and upskill and reskill and prepare for the future and all the wonderful things that you heard Kevin talk about yesterday for those that could make it to the opening. So a big thank you to Stanford on that front. Please. And I didn't get into Stanford, so I'm a little bit upset at them. I can only go as far as that will go. I had to go to some small D3 liberal arts school in the East, so we won't talk about that. Two other phenomenal announcements. For those that were on PS Newswire, Business Newswire, did anyone catch this flash this morning around 7:15 if you were up a bit early on our coast? Some big announcements. You're going to get a chance to hear a little bit later from Laura McKenzie, who is gracious enough to join us from MasterCard about a rather incredible program that we have partnered with. The second is a phenomenal partnership that we have just established with TCS. Tata Consulting Services. I know many of you are in the room today. You're going to hear more about that as well. Phil Levinson, our distinguished Vice President of Marketing, is here to field any questions you may have about that. So on that note, I will ask one other question of you all. Who's deeply upset about the 49ers losing last night? Okay. So I'm a Giants fan, so I can't really talk about anything for those that stateside references. The last piece I'll close with, and I'd like to bring to the stage our distinguished CEO and founder, Karl Mehta, is this. Take a moment to look around the room. A small moment of pause. Every continent, with the exception of one, is represented in this room today. That's a pretty staggering footprint when you talk about the global expansion and the reach of what we're doing at EdCast, what each of you are doing in your organizations, from Japan to the Netherlands to Singapore to Hong Kong to India. The list goes on and on. And I think about South Africa, London, and of course we here in the States a little bit. But it's powerful when you think about the global reach and the noble cause and the mission that we are pursuing. So on that note, I can think of no other individual who could speak about the depth of passion and a desire to change fundamentally how we approach the space. Please put your hands together for a warm welcome, Karl Mehta, our CEO and founder. Thank you, Karl.
So thanks everyone, and thanks for who was there last night at Google. Wow, that's great. So how was it last night? Good? Great. You guys enjoyed Kevin's keynote? Yeah, great. And how about the Google search demo? It's good? Okay, great. Thank you. So, this is our fifth annual summit. And believe it or not, the first summit that we did was actually right here in this hall. So this Paul Brest Hall. So it's great to kind of feels like doing like homecoming. And Stanford was our first investor in the company. So it's good to have that pedigree and the roots in very deep research and academia. We're going to have two Stanford professors here today. Both of them are my personal mentors. Dr. Doty, the neurosurgeon, is going to speak about compassion and mindfulness, and then we'll have Dr. Michael Shanks, who's from the design school. So it's great to have a very good both intellectual capital as well as financial capital from Stanford. So it's great to be here.